Yo everyone, Wagwan, Sanju Che here. Welcome back to the channel. Feels like it's been a while, hasn't it? But here we are back again with Attack on Titan episode 83, and again, just a constant reminder in your side. Yes, the season is coming to an end. This is episode 8 for this part of the season, and as you may have already heard, this part of the season is scheduled for 12 episodes. But as you may have also heard, there is set to be an Attack on Titan final season panel at the end of March when the final episode should have aired. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they make some kind of big announcement in terms of what's the plan going forward in adapting the rest of the story, because again, if episode 12 really is the final episode for now, at least, they are definitely not going to be able to adapt the entirety of the story unless they rush through it, and then if they rush through it, people are going to riot. That would be interesting though. But anyway, hope you guys are having an awesome day. Of course, join me tomorrow night for the end of month subscriber stream, which should be fun. Nice little chill time talking to you guys as per usual, as we do the end of every month here on Sanju Uchiha. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Let's see what this episode has to offer in adapting the greatness that is Attack on Titan, despite the polarizing ending. Alright, here we go.
No scope.
Well. Angie doing it. No scope. And you know, funny enough, I don't think I ever recall her like shedding tears in the manga. I'll have to like double check that. For comparison's sake, of course. Funny how things come full circle, eh, Hanji? I'm sure somebody has some fan fiction of Hanji and Levi getting together. Yo, that's how you know Levi is serious now. Eren, I'm going to destroy the world. Levi wakes up. Jano, dog. Which part is Zeke, the dog? We need to just kill him. Of course, because teamwork makes the dream work. Alright, episode 83, Pride. The Colossal Titans just continue to look impressive, dog. And I think it just comes down to the expectation that they would have been like some CGI miss. It's just the comparison between that mental image from before we saw them and no. And again, it's interesting to see the characters continue to struggle with, you know, if this is the right thing to do. Isn't it always amazing that you don't even necessarily, I mean, at this point in the story, you don't even have to have an episode with like crazy amount of action for it to be like really engaging. Falco putting the pieces together, dog. Just help me brush your teeth, fam. No, wala. Yo, what is with this face that Connie is making, dog? It's not as ridiculous as the Yelena face, but it's still ridiculous. Yo. Man's like, what? Jano, the hesitation. No youths. Can't dead just yet. Some would say Armin having the colossal right now is a colossal waste of time. Jano. Mikasa's one fangirl and why she just gone dead so. Mikasa can at least say something back. Come on, jeez. Like like Flock, you know, it's wild that to see how far Flock is coming from the fact that he was one of the lone survivors in the charge against Zeke in season 3 to this. No, the man the man is, I don't know, he's an amazing character, but still. Shinzo Sasageyo. Shinzo Sasageyo. The man them say, oh, we're still up on opening 3. This was so funny in the manga. What is with yo? Like, Flock has become such an extremist, dog, honestly. I mean, he's always alright, to be fair, he always has been, in terms of how he viewed characters like Erwin, and, you know, his desire for the devil that will set them free. But honestly, I mean, to be honest, you don't even have to kill Yelena or Onyakapon, honestly. And it's so funny that everybody has adopted this whole subjects of Ymir. Yo, we are subjects of Ymir, dog. Yes, it's crazy how extreme a lot of the residents of Paradise have become. Loving Ashes on Fire in the background here. Of course, Hanju asked something like that. Reference back to Marco. So. To save the world, yo, the A-team. All right, let's see what the preview has to offer. Alright, so that was episode 83 of Attack on Titan, and no, again, first of all, I have to probably repeat the same thing I said last week, where one of the nitpicks I suspect that persons are going to have, generally speaking, even though I also expect they'll, you know, just generally like enjoy the episode nonetheless, is that the rumbling has begun. And I think persons are dying to see what's happening with Eren. They're dying to see Eren stomp out some people, to see him actually get to Marley, or just, you know, make good on his word to wipe out the world. So I'll say that much in terms of that. That aside, this episode, I would dare to say another quote-unquote acceptable slow burn, because from the first 5 episodes compared to episode 6, 7, and this episode, things have obviously slowed down a considerable amount to focus on a lot of the side characters and them dealing with the whole morality of Eren actually wiping out the rest of the world, of the Jaegerists to get their words in, and just to see what everyone else is up to. And it all kind of melds together for this seemingly slow-paced build-up towards another major battle, which I'm sure most persons by now can, deduce or conclude that, hey, this team of Avengers are going to team up to stop Eren. It's heavily implied in this episode as we see the smaller conflicts before our team leaves out to stop Eren kind of come to some sort of conclusion. Through this episode, we see the conclusion of the whole, plot line of, Connie wanting to feed Falco to his mom to get his mom back, Armin and the crew stopping him, meeting back up with Annie, teaming up, the Jaegers, all that jazz and blues, more of Hanji and Levi, and basically get a better idea of what the Avengers will consist of in the final fight going towards the end of the story. So, starting off, the start of the the episode, of course, Hanji, Levi, of course, two characters that have been kind of out of it for a good portion of this part of the season. And starting with last episode till now, I think a lot of persons are happy to know that we're getting more of them going forward. And just seeing the typical Hanji, the typical Levi, in terms of what persons love and know them for being highlighted in this episode, I thought that was a nice touch. I still find it funny that even though Levi was obviously heard Eren's speech, obviously, because he heard Hanji speaking to herself before they were brought into the paths to get Eren's speech. And I just found it funny that even though he heard it, the first thing this man says when he gets up, Jana, where's that monkey? He has to be like, man, like he's not in business. But that just feels like within the character of Levi to actually do. But it's funny nonetheless. Hanji wanting to run off with Levi and staying there, that was funny too, not gonna lie. But of course, even starting with that scene there, it is obvious that there is going to be some sort of debate, some sort of conversation that's going to be had once more in terms of Eren destroying the world by the characters. And I mean, of course, that's that's obvious, but Hanji obviously disagrees with Eren's plan. So of course, that's the first implication that by the end of the episode, the team that's forming is actually forming to stop Eren. So that's the first bit of it. Now, in terms of Connie, the nuance to these characters in this show continues to extend to all characters that are on screen, and Connie's that includes Connie. And we see him struggle with the decision, struggle in deciding how he's gonna handle this situation with feeding Falco to his mother. And of course, apart from the precautions he's thinking in his head, like, I gotta make sure that he's not picking up on, the fact that I know him, or I gotta make sure he doesn't know he has part of the Jaw Titan so he doesn't transform or anything like that. I mean, that's all good and dandy, but I think the positives in terms of viewing experience that it really comes down to is just the nuance in Connie's, he's struggling with the decision, honestly, and we see it in a kind of comedic, kind of dark humor kind of scene as we lead up to the scene where he's trying to fool Falco in that, we're just gonna brush her teeth. And that face, honestly, I might make it into the thumbnail or something. That was funny too, but it was good to see. And just to see even the words that his family or his mother basically echoed to him from years and years back, kind of echoed to him and play a part in him struggling with his decision to do this, I guess, morally wrong thing. So that was nice to see. Seeing Armin actually struggle with the situation as well, about to sacrifice himself, just to ensure that, you know, things can go right with Peak and Magat and Reina, just to make sure things progress. Like, it's just interesting to see Connie and Armin kind of share in each other's inadequacies and indecisiveness, I suppose, if I can put it like that. So that was nice to see, I'm not going to lie. Of course, Levi being Levi, basically continuing to talk to Magat in the scene after that, I believe. I mean, what's there to really say? I mean, it's Levi and they're forming the Avengers, so yeah. But again, coming back to within the city, right? I mean, we had Mikasa's, you know, #1 fan, basically. Mikasa's like really cool, honestly. She could have said something. Come on. But that aside, again, I find it so like funny, like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, that the people on this island have really warmed up to being subjects of Ymir. I mean, they are, but they're so patriotic, so extreme with it, you know. It's just something to really take note of, honestly. And it paints an interesting picture, I suppose, when it comes on to, I guess, thinking about any extreme real world shades of nationalism and extremism and feeling patriotic, you know, stuff like that. And the things that were, you know, done to them in the grand scheme of things with, you know, Marley, basically, you know, they've been dying to Titans for all these years, and just seeing Anyakapan kind of trying to relate that what Eren is doing is no different from what they experience and that they should understand, but it's just that you could see just the indifference and the pain and just the desire for survival and revenge at the same time. But I guess all packaged within this newfound sense of nationalism and their identity as subjects of Ymir, if you get what I mean. And it's just so interesting, you know, very interesting. There's a lot of nuance at the end of the day, and I'm here for it. It's what Attack on Titan is here for in the grand scheme of things. Flock being Flock, yo. I think some persons are annoyed with Flock when he says lines like, yo, I'm doing this for Eren, or, you know, anything like along the lines of Flock saying, yo, this is what Eren would have wanted, and all of these things. And I think it was interesting because as a viewer, I think you'd be looking on Flock and a lot of the Jaegers and saying, is this what Eren would really want? Like, listening to their dialogue when they say stuff like that. And I think it really paints a picture that it's also like an interesting reflection of us, the audience, at this point in time, not having a 100% understanding of what's really going on in Eren's head. And I think that's interesting. Again, it's just this show kind of, it kind of puts you like in the driver's seat of what some characters are experiencing, in the sense of their current knowledge, you know. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I found that interesting as well. Of course, the scene in Annie, hilarious. That's the next hilarious part of the episode. And just seeing the characters like John, who, you know, for the last few episodes, and him and a few others who have been struggling with the current situation, basically coming to a decisive decision in terms of what they want to do. And of course, the callback to Marco in the end, completely beautiful, honestly. I do feel bad for Anyakapon, honestly, because again, he didn't know about the euthanasia plan, and as he said, his homeland's getting destroyed, so there's a rough part about it. But again, I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section about this episode. Again, I know it might be like a slight nitpick is that things have slowed down compared to the first 5 episodes, but trust me, this build up is absolutely necessary. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Sanjay Uchiha. If you're anime only, let me know your predictions. And of course, guys, no spoilers. No spoilers. I mean, I am a manga reader, but just for in the event that an anime only is watching and scrolling through the comment section, or of course, put your spoiler alert and then enter, and then put your spoilers. You know it goes already. But anyway, hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday night, and I'll see you in the next AOT.